The gates of our secret garden are now open. Welcome to the monastery lost in the woods, that hidden place where you and me are going to sit together and have a chat in peace. Tonight, under a full moon, we are going to talk about the Indigo Children, Starborn souls, and the myth of the new human, the birth of the indigo, tracing the aura of a new age. Long before TikTok tarot readings and crystal-charged mantras, a quiet revolution stirred in the auras of children. In the 1970s, Nancy Ann Tappe, a synesthete who claimed she could see the colours of people's life energies, began to speak of a new hue appearing around the young, deep indigo. It wasn't pastel or bright. It was a warrior's blue, midnight, stained with mystery. She called them Indigo Children. Tappe described these children as marked by a specific energy, bold, intuitive, and impossibly old-souled. They weren't merely precocious, they were prophetic. These weren't just kids with strong opinions. They were here, she said, to tear down outdated systems, question rigid authority, and forge a new, more spiritually aligned future. In 1999, the concept exploded into the New Age mainstream with the book The Indigo Children, The New Kids Have Arrived by Lee Carroll and Jan Tober. Carroll, who channeled an ethereal being named Cryon, offered spiritual validation to Tappe's insights, packaging the idea for a swelling audience of seekers yearning to believe their children weren't broken, but brilliant. The indigo mythos arrived at the turn of the millennium like a soft rebellion against medical diagnoses and societal conformity. In a world increasingly obsessed with labels, ADHD, OD, SPD, Indigo Children offered an alternative. Maybe these children weren't disordered, maybe they were different for a reason. From fringe metaphysics to dinner table conversations in suburban homes, the concept spread like sacred wildfire. Indigo wasn't just a colour anymore, it was a calling, blueprints of the indigo soul, traits that define the unseen. Indigo children do not simply arrive, they rupture. Born with the scent of revolution in their breath and ancient embers flickering behind their eyes, they carry a psychic blueprint unlike any before. Their presence often feels too vast for their age, like star maps folded into human skin. The most common trait is a fierce independence. They are not easily moulded or subdued, resisting authority that smells of control or falsity. Rules, unless rooted in reason or compassion, are questioned, often instinctively. These children are not rebellious for attention, they are allergic to inauthenticity. Indigos are deeply intuitive, capable of reading a room, a person, a lie without effort. Their emotions are finely tuned instruments, which makes them vulnerable to overload. Noise, cruelty, dishonesty, these strike sharper than daggers. Many are empaths who absorb the pain of others like mirrors made of breath. Creativity flows through them like a current. Art, music, storytelling, invention, these are not hobbies but essential expressions of their inner cosmos. Often, their imaginations seem to bridge other dimensions filled with visions, dreams, and eerie déjà vu. Another hallmark? A deep sense of purpose, often unnamed but ever present. Indigo children speak of missions, of knowing they're here for a reason, long before society teaches such language. They are restless until they find what resonates with their soul's frequency. To many parents and teachers, indigo children seem challenging, too sensitive, too intense, too difficult. But through a mystical lens, these aren't symptoms of dysfunction. They are signs of an evolving species, one foot in the material world, the other in the liminal. These are not children of the system, they are the children who came to change it. To see the indigo child only through the lens of psychology is to miss the constellations swirling behind their eyes. In spiritual and occult traditions, indigo children are often cast not as anomalies, but as envoys, starseeds, wanderers from higher realms, reincarnated with purpose. They are said to be born into the veil of this world, bearing blueprints for its evolution. Mystics view these children as light workers or old souls, incarnated not by chance but by celestial appointment. Their aura, said to shimmer indigo or violet, is considered a marker of high vibration. In esoteric traditions, this color aligns with the third eye chakra, the seat of intuition, psychic vision and inner knowing. It is no coincidence then that so many indigos seem to see through things, through lies, through people, through time itself. Some link their appearance to astrological ages or planetary shifts, particularly the transition from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. In this narrative, indigo children are evolutionary catalysts, dismantling the brittle bones of the old world so that a more conscious one may rise. Ritualists and occultists often see indigos as innately magical, born witches, mediums or energy healers. They don't learn the craft, they remember it. Their dreams may contain messages, their play may mirror sigils. Their anger, if unchecked, can spark psychic interference, what some call a storm in the ether. But this path is not without danger. Without grounding, these children can become untethered, adrift in unseen realms without a map. Guidance is essential, not to control them, but to help them harness the wild electricity they carry. They are not just sensitive children, they are sacred technology in human form. Behind the shimmering aura of the indigo child lies a rift, one where science and mysticism stare each other down, neither blinking. While spiritual circles celebrate these children as heralds of a new age, the psychological community offers a colder, more clinical gaze. What if the indigo child is not an evolved soul, but a misdiagnosed one? Many traits ascribed to indigos, defiance of authority, high sensitivity, resistance to routine, mirror symptoms of ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, ODD, or autism spectrum conditions. Critics argue that what some parents embrace as spiritual uniqueness may in fact be overlooked neurodivergence requiring proper support. The concern isn't just mislabeling, it's neglect. Some psychologists view the indigo label as a comforting delusion, one that spares parents the sting of diagnosis by recasting struggle as destiny. A child who challenges teachers, resists homework, or throws emotional storms isn't disordered, they're gifted, misunderstood, cosmic. While that story may soothe, it risks creating blind spots. Missed therapies, lack of discipline, and unchecked narcissism cloaked as empowerment. The term also leans heavily on confirmation bias. The traits are vague and flattering. Almost any parent could find their child somewhere in the indigo constellation. It's the horoscope problem, deeply personal, suspiciously universal. Further critique points to the commercial machinery behind the movement. Books, workshops, aura photography, even indigo-branded education programs. Where belief blooms, so does business. Yet even the skeptics admit there is something fascinating about the intensity, the perceptiveness, the inner fire of these children. But is it mysticism or misunderstood biology? Science seeks structure. The occult embraces mystery. Between them, the indigo child dances, a symbol, a scapegoat, or a spark. Though born of aura readings and esoteric whispers, indigo children have left footprints in places stranger than metaphysics, classrooms, chat rooms, therapy sessions, and YouTube rabbit holes. What began as a fringe spiritual theory in the 1970s has morphed into a cultural archetype, a vessel for generational longing, alienation, and cosmic self-worth. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, the indigo child mythos became a lifeline for misunderstood youth, especially among Gen X and early millennials, who chafed against standardized education, corporate conformity, and the numb rituals of suburban life. If you didn't fit in, maybe you weren't broken. Maybe you were born different, not flawed, evolved. The label offered meaning in a world that often dismissed emotion and intuition as weakness. Forums bloomed with teens claiming indigo identities, sharing dreams, psychic visions, and rebellion. It became an identity, a badge against a grey world. Yet there's a shadow to this inheritance. Some children raised under the indigo banner report pressure to be extraordinary, psychic, or savior-like. The weight of being special can become a quiet curse. Not everyone born under this myth found empowerment. Some found isolation, others disillusionment. Still the idea endures, mutable, radiant, strange. The indigo child lives on not just in spirit circles, but in the cultural bloodstream, an echo of humanity's eternal hope, that our children are not our copies, but our catalysts. To speak of indigo children is to wander the borderlands, where science ends, spirit begins, and story reigns supreme. Whether you see them as starborn revolutionaries or misunderstood neurodivergents, one truth rises from the smoke. Indigo children are a mirror. In them, we see both our unease with the world as it is and our longing for the world as it could be. Maybe indigo children are not just a generation. Maybe they are our hope for a better future. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Cheers.